What is up guys, it's your boy Aswell. I'm here, back with another World of Warcraft video for the War Within, and today we're talking about leveling up characters and making gold at the same time. I did a test last night on stream for about 2 hours to fully test the gold per hour and also the experience per hour, not just myself, but in a group. So we had 4 people farming at the same time, in the same place, trying out to see how much gold per hour we get, and also the experience per hour at the same time. So for the purpose of that, today we are talking about delve farming, and there is one specific delve that we are doing. So for the delve, I've made a video on this in the past, but I never really fully tested the gold per hour in a lengthy time span, so that's what we did today, or I guess yesterday, where we tested this over a span of 2 hours. We could definitely have done more, but 2 hours was a good solid test when we were 4 people, so we have 2 hours each, technically 8 hours of testing. Either way, the delve we are doing is this one right here in Hallowfall. It is called the Nightfall Sanctum, all the way up here at that waterfall. Once again, I have a video on this from before, and the reason why we're doing this one is that it has a higher chance to drop tinderboxes, and I'll talk more about that in this video as we go through the footage of farming as well. So in the background right now, you will see some footage of us farming this delve yesterday, and I want to talk a little bit about the strategy we used here when farming this delve as well. Now, when you are doing this delve, it could look different because delves change on a daily basis. The layout will be slightly different. Sometimes you start where we are now, even though that's the end at the moment, and you end on the other side. So the delve will be a little bit different from time to time. The chest will be in different locations. The herbalism nodes and the mining nodes will also be in different locations, and that is important to note because when you're farming this, the tinderboxes can drop from 2 different things. Number 1, the chests at the end, which we're looting right now to show you those. So you have 2 chests at the end here, and right now I did get a tinderbox from that one chest, as you can see. Actually, we got 2 of them. So 2 tinderboxes from these 2 chests at the end, and tinderboxes can also drop from different minerals or objectives in the delve itself. So for example, fishing pools, herbalism nodes, and mining nodes. All 3 of those can also give you tinderboxes, and they give them to everyone in the party. So what we are doing is that, for example, I am way lower geared than the other people in this group, so I was in charge of doing the objectives while they just clear out everything. So we had 1 person be in charge of Bran and 1 person be in charge of the objectives as well. Now, if you want to power through this even faster, you can make it so that the guy with the best Bran, the highest level Bran, is a party leader, because Bran will scale based on the party leader. So if you have 1 person with a really overpowered Bran, you can make him party leader to just help yourself out. But either way, when you're in a group like we are, 4-man party, 5-man party, 3-man party, you name it, you want to just make sure you keep blasting and have 1 person do the objectives. That way you go through it really fast, and then also that person can also be in charge of Bran. Now, while you are doing the actual delve, look out, be on the lookout for mining nodes, herbalism nodes, and fishing pools. If you have fishing, you can actually look for them on the map as well, and if you have herbalism plus mining, you can see them on the minimap, showing as a yellow icon. So if you have any of those, if you have herbalism plus mining, it is super easy to spot them, and you can't really miss them. And same thing goes for fishing as well. You can look for the fishing pools on the minimap by tracking them. Now, when you're looting these objectives, there's one thing to note, and that is you have to be out of combat when approaching the objective for Bran to loot it. So for example, if you see a fishing pool somewhere, or even a herbalism node or a mining node, you have to be out of combat, and not just you, but everyone in the party has to be out of combat to loot that mineral. And I'm just gonna say, myself, from 2 hours of farming, I got 4 tinderboxes from those objectives. So 4 extra tinderboxes from herbalism, mining, and fishing pools. Now, this delve as a gold farm is incredibly RNG heavy, and you have to do it for a longer period of time to actually start making gold here and get like an average gold per hour tracker, because I went 8 delves without a single tinderbox, and then I got 4 tinderboxes in 2 delves in a row. So 2 in each delve, twice in a row, so 4 tinderboxes in 2 delves. Meanwhile, I went 8 delves and got not a single one. So you have to do this for a long period of time to get an actual gold per hour tracker here. So we had everyone in the party use loot appraiser here to show exactly the gold per hour we got, and for me, I'm sitting on 40,000 gold per hour or yeah, 40,000 after 1.5 hours. Now that is a little bit misleading because not everything is being tracked here. So for example, when a brand picks up a tinderbox from any other things than the chests at the end, like when brand picks up a tinderbox, it gets put in your inventory, but you're not the one looting it, so loot appraiser doesn't count those. So for me, I have 4 tinderboxes at the moment that are not being looted on loot appraiser, and 4 tinderboxes, they are 9.5k right now on the auction house on EU. That is another 38,000 gold per hour to this tracker, which means that in 1 hour and 36 minutes we have made about 80,000 gold, which is about 55 to 60,000 gold per hour, which is definitely not bad. I think it's closer to 50 or 55. Now, we were 4 people farming this, at the moment we're 3, so we started off by being 4 for the first hour, then 3 for the next hour, and every single one in the party got 2 tinderboxes in one run at some point, and we all ended up getting roughly the same amount of tinderboxes at the end of the farm, so we all made roughly the same gold, which seemed to be about 50 to 55,000 gold per hour, while leveling characters. Every one of us, except for the Paladin right now, who was also on an alt previously, we are leveling characters. The Paladin right now is level 80, just blasting through this to make it fast, but before this, everyone was on a leveling character to level up and make gold at the same time. That is kind of what we're trying to test here, like how much gold per hour can we get while leveling a character, to see if we can farm competitive gold per hour and level up at the same time. Now, a couple of things worth noting is that I have tailoring on this character, which I added up at the end after 2 hours of farming. It added about 10,000 gold for me personally at the end, about 8,000 of which came from tailoring and 2,000 came from the various materials that brand picks up. So 10,000 gold came from the other materials, 8,000 of which was tailoring. So tailoring in this delve adds about 4,000 gold per hour, not a lot, but definitely something, adds like 10% more value to the farm you're already doing. So if you want to min-max your gold here, make a little bit more, then tailoring is definitely a good thing to pick. But then again, herbalism plus mining is also good, because you get herbalism nodes and mining nodes inside the delve, and not only do you get them, they're easier for you to spot on the map as well. So herbalism plus mining is a good choice, but also tailoring is also a good choice. Inscription could also be a good choice to get those Dark Moon cards while in the delve as well. So after finishing 2 hours of farming inside this delve, these are the stats we ended up with, because we did have some bad luck towards the end. We had 55,000 to 60,000 gold per hour at some point. At the end, these are the stats. So for gold per hour, we got 45,000 gold per hour from 2 hours of full testing, and that is not just me, by the way, but 3 to 4 people. So combined, we had between 6 and 8 hours of testing here, and 45,000 gold per hour. For the experience per hour, we're looking at 1.5 levels per hour as well. Pretty much exactly on the dot, by the way, because we farmed for 2 hours, and I got 2 levels and 95%. So we are 5% away, aka 1 bar, from getting 1.5 levels per hour. Not speed leveling, but leveling fairly fast. For the gold distribution, 80,000 gold of the combined 90,000 that I got from 2 hours came from tinderboxes, so 80,000 gold from tinderboxes and 10k from various sources. Now, the various sources, once again, most of which is tailoring, but 2,000 of that, like 8,000 was tailoring, and 2,000 was the various materials that Bran picked up throughout the fight, or that he picked up from the herbalism nodes, mining nodes, and fishing pools. Now, there are definitely some better gold farms out there, but as a way to make gold while leveling characters, I would say 45,000 gold per hour is pretty good right now. And I mean, if you compare this to herbalism plus mining, you can make about 55k per hour with herbalism plus mining right now in Hallowfall, for example. So this is right behind herbalism plus mining. So if you're leveling with herbalism plus mining, that's definitely a doable way to level as well. But this right here is just doable for everyone. Class doesn't matter, professions also doesn't really matter. Even though tailoring adds like 10% or 12% on top, you can definitely do this one without any professions and still make 40,000 gold per hour, which I would say is pretty good. So if you have any characters you want to level up and make gold at the same time, this delve is absolutely fantastic. Once again, there's not really any guide here because the delve changes every single day and your delve might look different than mine. The only thing I'll say is that when you have a party like we do, try to have 1 or 2 people be in charge of pulling and 1 or 2 people be in charge of doing the objectives. That way it's just super simple and you keep blasting and you can speed through it very fast. The thing about delves, doing it this way, it's all about efficiency. You want to clear the delve fast, but you also want to pick up the materials that you can fast as well. So it's all about coordination, getting out of combat at the right time, picking up the fishing pools, herbalism nodes and mining nodes, and then speed clearing, because the boxes at the end is where like 60 or 70% of the boxes comes from those chests at the end. Now you could also make an argument that you might not even have to use Bran, like when he picks up those minerals, it's downtime, so there might actually be a possibility that you're better off just speeding through the entire delve, rushing through the objective super fast, and then killing the last boss and looting the chest, and then going back out and resetting. It entirely depends on your group setup and what you are willing to do, but there could be an argument for skipping the minerals and literally just going for the delve and the objective and looting those chests and then resetting, but I haven't really tried that. Either way, I wanted to test this delve, see the exact gold per average count, and also see how good it is for leveling, because I have a few characters that I want to level up, and I would love to make gold at the same time. So that's the video. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like down below, and once again, if you want to have more help when it comes to gold making, then check out my gold making guide through a link down below. In this guide, we talk about professions, how to spend knowledge points, how to spend your concentration, and just in general how to make gold with professions. We also have both solo gold farms and group gold farms in that guide, and when you buy the guide you get access to a private gold making community where we talk way more about gold making, and I'm sure you will not regret buying the guide. Either way, check it out, the link is down below, and if you do buy the guide, once again, thank you so much. Your support helps this channel grow and helps the channel going, and yeah, thank you so much. Either way, that's the video, so thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. I will see you again in the next video very soon. Bye bye.